that's how you're going to create these animations. Now at this point, if I wanted to create a drawing from this, I can save it, and I can use that drop down that you saw before when I was creating the first drawing is from animation, not from design. So from animation, I can use storyboard 3, which is the one I just created, or I can use storyboard 2. That's the one that was created before. I mean, they look essentially the same. I mean, the first one looks a little bit better. It's a little more refined. I had a little more time to work on it, but I'll do storyboard 3 because in the end it looks the same, and that's what we're going to be seeing in the drawing anyway. So I'm going to choose my ASME standard this time. I'll do inches once again, and maybe use a C-size sheet because this is a little bit bigger than the previous item that we were dealing with. Now in this case, my base view looks like it's going to be this exploded view, right? So we do have different ways of visualizing this, and I think the best for this case is probably the NE, northeast, northwest display. Right now the scale is so small I can barely see it at all, so I'm going to try to change it to make it much larger to be able to see this much easier. And the other thing I want to do is I do want that shaded display to show, right? Like I took the time to add appearances, to add coloration to the different parts in this model. And don't worry about the way that it looks kind of very blocky right now. It's just not, rendered yet. So we'll change this style to shaded with visible edges. Tangent edges off. We'll turn off interference edges. Just drop it in the location. And there we go. We've created, an exploded view of this assembly. Once it's in place, we can continue to dimension this or dimension, balloon, whatever it is that you need to do. We did just get these nice spline balloons to help call these things out. But to start off, maybe I want to add a parts list. So I'm going to just select my parts list option. And this is where your components versus bodies come into play. So if any of these were bodies or components that contain multiple parts, it's going to show in different ways. So, or in some cases, it won't show at all. So it is something to pay attention to, something to be aware of, and it's one of those reasons why you want to consider, using one versus the other. So there we go. We've added the parts list, and now we can go through. We can start to add balloons to call out the different items in here. So maybe we'll start here. We'll add one for the stock piece. I mean, that might be something that we might want to call out, and I'm just going to continue to add a couple more of these balloons. Once they're into place, you can see that we have some nice displays here. If I did want to, I can actually renumber my balloons. You do have the ability to renumber your balloons based on the way that they're selected or the way that they're ordered. So essentially what I can do here is I can change this from being 5 to 1. Once I click it, it updates that to 1. There's 2. There's 3, and you can continue around until it's back to 4.